If you're a man that's 35 or above and you got out of a long relationship, I know exactly what's going through your mind right now. You're wondering if you're going to find another, when you're going to find another, when you're going to be able to get intimate with another again. Of course, that's probably the main driving factor. How it's going to be to get back out there, especially after you've been out of the dating market for a significant amount of time. And if the last woman you met was through a traditional way about 10 or 15 years ago, there's a big difference with how you're going to approach now versus how you approached back then. And there's several things that are likely going through your mind. First off, am I too old? Right? As men, we generally like to date women that are younger than us, especially if we're in our 40s. So the other thing going through your mind is likely, who's going to be attracted to me now that I have all this extra age, now that I've been in a relationship so long? I'm not sure about this online dating thing. I have an online dating setup, but it's not working for me. I don't know how to approach women out nowadays. I hear women don't want you to approach them while you're out nowadays. All of these things you're hearing or that are going through your mind are normal. But the thing you don't realize, and I want to make sure you understand, is that you have such an asset being an older man in this market. If you leverage your skills, your knowledge, your background, experiences that you had in your life, even if it seems relatively dull, all that time you have adds up to interest, okay? Interest in the sense that there are so many stories you have, there are so many interactions you can relate to that are going to actually make you stand apart from the majority of other men that don't have all of these experiences. There is a certain calm attractiveness that comes with a man with age. A lot of women nowadays actually seek that out. There's a certain comfort you have in who you are, a certain way of dealing with situations, a certain way of being more consistent, reliable, all of these qualities that make you attractive for the long term. But the problem you have is not the skills that you have that for once you get into a relationship that's exclusive or that's long term or that's a serious relationship. That's not where you have the issue. Chances are you actually have those skills and foundations underneath you. Right? That's not the problem. The problem is the initial interactions and actually getting to meet her so that she can decide that she is into you. She does have an interest in you. She does have a curiosity in you. And then you can develop that, and then she wants to be in that relationship with you. You probably have the majority of skills, qualities that are going to make her attracted to you, especially as an older man. But what you don't have, or where you're lacking, is all at the initial stages. Now, there are you can actually do to modify the way that you actually interact with her, the way that you interact in general, and the way that can make those skills that you have translate into something more attractive for you initially, right at the get-go, right when you actually meet her, to build that, that instant attraction. And you can develop this. Now, there are 3 areas that I primarily want to focus on with you guys to get you guys better so that you can actually bridge that gap, so that you can get through the first initial stages of dating and you can get to the part where you already have the skills. Right? You already have those. So we just need to work on the beginning for you. And the 3 things we need to work on are 1, how you carry yourself, your general physique. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be in amazing shape, but you do have to show that you take care of yourself. That conveys a lot of negative energy. So the first thing we have to talk about is that. And that is not something that you have to even say, oh, that's going to take months for where I am right now. No, it's not. It's how you carry yourself. And that's a huge impact. How you carry yourself is going to influence how you're viewed more than anything else. And even if you're not in the best shape now, the clothes that you wear, the way that you walk around, the way that you hold your body out is going to convey a lot about that until that point in time where you can actually get on some routine that is going to make you more physically attractive. So that's one thing we're going to talk about. The other thing we're going to talk about is how you communicate. Right now, you are probably communicating too much. You're probably communicating interest too early. You're probably actually saying things that are off the initial, hey, you look so beautiful, initial start to something, which is terrible to do. You're probably over-validating her. You're probably buying gifts at the early stages. You're probably going to initial meets, trying to make her feel inundated with these feelings by taking her to an expensive dinner. You're probably trying to plan a huge elaborate date. This is not what you need to be doing. This is an old school mindset that doesn't transfer into today's dating market, especially with women that aren't in their 40s, 50s, or above. It's not going to carry over as you imagine in your mind. Even some of the women that say they want that, don't care if you do that for the initial meet, if you're able to build some type of curiosity in them that makes them dismiss that and want to throw that quote rule unquote out the window. And third and finally, out of the main things we're going to talk about, how to readjust your views to match the reality of the current dating market. This can be the most challenging, but there are certain things you can do that can actually change this. It's about reframing where you fit in the dynamics of the dating market. It's about reframing your and her role when you are going on a date. This is a huge shift. And this is probably the most important. Once we reset your frame and you're viewing yourself different in the overall scheme of this dating arena, you will notice how things start to change rapidly. You naturally will start wanting to show that you respect yourself more by taking care of yourself. You will actually realize that you actually don't need to convince her that you are a catch, that actually you need her to convince you. You're gonna re-switch everything once you understand how to get in that frame. And that, guys, is one of the most important things you'll ever do when you're actually trying to improve your skills at dating, okay? Or if you've been waiting for the right time, this is the right time. Reach out, we'll set up a call, and we will get this turned around for you, all right? Within a few weeks, your life is going to start to look completely different. Let's do it.